Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's story is a tough one, not because it's loud or dramatic, but because of how quietly painful it is. A husband discovers that his wife has been having an affair, and instead of exploding, crying, or begging her to stay, his feelings simply switch off. No shouting, no scene, just emotional silence. We're gonna go through his full story and the updates, and I want you to tell me in the comments, is he heartless? Or is this just what happens when you're hurt one time too many? My 30M wife, 34F, and I have been together for 8 years, 5 of them married. I thought we were the kind of couple that could tell each other any problem. I loved her deeply and always believed she felt the same way about me. Like many couples, we had our ups and downs, but I never thought it could lead to infidelity. 4 months ago, I started noticing changes in her behavior. She was more distant, always glued to the phone and avoiding our conversations. You know, the typical thing about a cheating person. Well, one day, I came across a message on her phone that confirmed what I feared the most. She was seeing someone else. It's interesting how often the cheater accuses the betrayed partner of not loving enough when they're the ones who broke the trust to begin with. It was like a punch in the stomach. I felt anger, sadness, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. But instead of confronting her right away, I decided to wait. My main reason was to protect myself in a possible divorce. A lot of people think gathering evidence is petty or cold, but honestly, when you're blindsided like this, protecting yourself is just survival. If I was going to face this situation, I wanted to have solid evidence, so I spent the next 2 months gathering messages, photos, and anything else I could use if things got legally difficult. During those 2 months, I pretended normality while the pain piled up. I watched her act like everything was fine, and with each passing day, my feelings for her faded. The love I once felt was replaced by indifference. Emotional numbness is actually really common after betrayal. It doesn't mean you never loved the person, it just means your mind shut down to protect you. If anyone says that love for someone doesn't go away, well, it's not entirely true. When I finally gathered all the evidence, I confronted her. I showed her everything I knew, and although she tried to deny it at first, she finally admitted that she had been having an affair. She said it was a mistake, that she still loved me, and that she wanted to work things out. But by then, I didn't feel anything anymore. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I didn't even get angry. I simply told her that it was okay, that we could get a divorce, and that we could each move on with our lives. My lack of emotion baffled her. She said my indifference was cold and cruel, and that if I had truly loved her, I should have fought to save our marriage. Her saying he should have fought for the marriage is ironic. You can't ask someone to save something you already destroyed. But the truth was that I did love her very much. Only after 2 months of living with the betrayal in silence, I just didn't care. Aita for becoming indifferent towards my wife after discovering her affair. Commenter 1, remember this. The only reason she's sorry is because she got caught. Commenter 2, the indifference you're feeling is probably a defense mechanism. Don't be surprised if you have a lot of different emotions. Good luck up. Commenter 3, you're not the asshole for becoming emotionally detached after discovering your wife's affair. Your feelings are a natural response to a profound betrayal of trust. While your wife may have hoped for a different reaction, you're not obligated to fight for a relationship that she damaged through infidelity. Your decision to protect yourself legally was prudent. Moving forward, focus on healing and what's best for you. Consider seeking counseling to process your emotions and the end of your marriage in a healthy way. Update, September 16th, 2024, 11 days later. Wow. Honestly, I didn't expect the number of messages I've received in the last few hours. I apologize for not responding to the comments, but rest assured, I am reading them. My inbox is filled with hundreds of replies, and I'm truly surprised by the support and the number of people who took the time to share their experiences and opinions. At first, I felt overwhelmed reading so many stories from people who have gone through similar situations, some even worse. I never imagined that so many people could relate to what I'm going through. I guess it's eye-opening to see that infidelity is more common than I thought. And yes, there were also comments that made me question if I disconnected emotionally too quickly, but after reflecting, I believe I did what I needed to do to protect myself. Some people told me I should have tried to save the marriage, but the truth is, I don't think I could have. The betrayal felt like a wall that went up between us, and once I saw everything clearly, there was no way to go back to what we had. It's not that I don't want to love or be loved, it's just that the chapter with her is over for me. Does that make me cruel? I don't know, but it's my truth. One of the most impactful things was seeing how many people are stuck in relationships where trust has been broken and they don't know how to move forward. To everyone who asked how I'm doing it, I don't have a definitive answer. For me, it was a slow process, day by day, watching the love fade until it was just gone. There were also some messages from people in my wife's position. Those who had made mistakes, but genuinely wanted to make things right. It made me think, what would have happened if I had confronted her before my feelings faded? Maybe things would have turned out differently, but honestly, I don't think so. Once trust is broken like that, it's nearly impossible. To go back to what it was, anyway, I want to thank everyone who shared their words, whether they were supportive or critical. You've given me a lot to think about, and I'm grateful for that. I'm processing all of this little by little. But if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe and look forward without the weight of what happened. Thanks again. Mini update. Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know, I'm the guy whose wife cheated on him with someone else, and he became indifferent. I'm doing this mini update because many of you asked me to give one, but I'm lazy today, so don't expect a long one. Well, for starters, the divorce is in progress. The notice was delivered to her at one of her friends' houses, since the house we live in is mine, from my mother's side. Moving on to the divorce, she didn't take it well and called me to tell me that she would contest it, that we weren't getting a divorce. I didn't say anything, I just hung up because it bothered me to hear her voice at that moment. I read comments that say indifference is a way to protect yourself from strong emotions, and they were right. After a couple of days, I started thinking about the time invested in my marriage, and I really got angry. For her, 8 years of relationship was nothing to open her legs to another jerk. For those curious, her lover is someone older, maybe 40 or 47, and he has a wife and kid. I don't care if the idiot has a heart attack or something. My soon-to-be ex and that guy are just trash that came out of the same landfill. Sorry, I was getting angry as I was writing, so I took some time to calm down. Back to my soon-to-be ex, I really don't care if she decides to contest the divorce. She's just making things harder for herself, since all of our assets are separate, including the house where I live. Some people say he should have fought for the marriage. Others say indifference is the only sane response after that level of betrayal. Personally, I don't think there's a right way to react to something like this. There's just the way you need to react to survive it. What do you think? Is he cold? Or just done? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more stories like this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And if you thought this open relationship disaster was messy, wait until you hear the next story. This time, things get even more complicated, and honestly, I'm still not sure who's in the wrong there. Let's get into it. Boyfriend mad at me because he opened the relationship and got no dates. Am I the asshole for how I responded? My boyfriend and I, both 37, have been dating for a little over 3 years. Before this relationship, I was single for 8 years. Overall, it's been a healthy relationship. We're both independent, have our own jobs, our own places, and I genuinely enjoy spending time with him. I don't really have any major complaints about our day-to-day. However, about 6 months ago, he dropped a little emotional bomb on me. He told me he wanted to open the relationship, as in going on dates and sleeping with other women. I'd never been in an open relationship before, so naturally I had a lot of questions. He assured me that I could also go on dates and sleep with other men. How generous, right? I was skeptical at first, but after doing some research and having time to think, I agreed. He told me that if at any point I felt uncomfortable, we could close the relationship again. One of the rules was that we wouldn't talk about who we were seeing or what we were doing. No details, no debriefs, just don't ask, don't tell, romantic edition. So I signed up for a dating app. Within a few days, I had 500 plus likes, and it's been pretty steady since then. Shocking discovery, dating as a woman on apps is not that hard. I started matching with people, texting, and arranging dates. On average, I go on 1 or 2 dates a month. There are also a couple of people in similar open relationship dynamics that I'm seeing and sleeping with regularly. To my own surprise, I actually like the non-committal aspect of it. So even though I was skeptical at first, I've been enjoying the open relationship. And as agreed from the beginning, I didn't tell my boyfriend anything specific about this. Fast forward to the other day, I was at my boyfriend's house and my phone was on the kitchen counter. He saw my notifications pop up and decided to go through my phone. Messages, dating app, everything. Yes, we jumped straight from open relationship to open phone without consent. To say he was angry is an understatement. He completely lost it. Turns out, his master plan behind opening the relationship was to take a younger colleague from work out on a date. She apparently misunderstood it as just a work lunch and didn't see him that way at all. He then openly admitted to me that he wanted to see if things would work out with her so he could ultimately leave me for her. Lovely, right? Truly the spirit of ethical non-monogamy. But here's the plot twist. She didn't want him, and it seems like no one else did either. In the last 6 months, he's had a few awkward dates, but no one he's been able to sleep with. Meanwhile, I've been having a decent time, meeting people, and forming casual connections. I'll be honest, I feel a little embarrassed for him. The whole thing screams, opened the relationship to trade up, then got mad when the market said no. He demanded we close the relationship immediately. I told him that maybe we should just end things or at least take a break. He was outraged, started calling me names, and acting like I was the villain in all of this. However, even though he was the one who wanted this dynamic, he wanted to date other women, and he literally admitted he was trying to test things with another woman so he could replace me. So I left. As I walked home, I started seriously considering just breaking up with him altogether. Now he's been blowing up my phone with calls and messages, and I honestly don't know what to say to him at this point. Part of me feels bad, and another part of me is like, sir, this was your idea, so am I the Oh. But what do you think? Is she out of line for enjoying the open relationship he suggested? Or is he just dealing with the consequences of his own idea? Let's see what other people had to say about this. We're going to read some of the top comments and see how the internet judged this situation. You should join the rest of the population in not dating him as well. He admitted that he was stringing you along to see if this younger woman wanted him. If she had wanted him, he would have broken up with you for her, and you are asking if you are the AH. Lady, you are a moron if you stay. LMAO. Men wanting to open the relationship so they could sleep around, but then get angry when the GF wife gets more opportunities, are beyond delusional. Of course, the women will get more offers for non-committal. Anyway, dump him because he broke his own rule of not wanting to know and not sharing by reading your stuff. It was all a ploy to see if he could get better. This man doesn't love you at all. He gets mad at you when his schemes fail. I'd laugh at him, get my friends to laugh at him too, and then dump him, honestly. The response was pretty one-sided. Most of them were telling her to leave him, not because open relationships are bad by default, but because he didn't treat it like an honest agreement. He treated it like a test run to replace her. When it didn't work out for him, and did work out for her, suddenly it wasn't fair anymore. And a lot of people pointed out that this wasn't about love, it was about control and ego. At the end of the day, if someone only wants you when no one else does, that's not really the kind of love you want to fight for. What do you think? Should she walk away for good, or is there anything here worth saving? Let me know down in the comments. I read as many as I can. If you enjoyed this story and you want more messed up relationships, AITA posts, and long Reddit breakdowns, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.